Welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Nico Foley. With me, we have Carrie Young, who is with the Acadiana Workforce Solutions. Now, that name may not be quite so familiar with you. However, if you've seen some of the flyers around town or if you've been on Facebook, you may have seen it come up in your timeline. But we're going to get more about that because I think it's a great program, and I'm hoping that all the teenagers and young adults between the ages of 16 and 24 will be watching. And if they're not, moms, dad, grandmas, grandpas, parents, all of y'all, please tell them about this program. So let's get right to it. Tell me a little bit about your position, because you are actually the community outreach and recruiting specialist for Acadiana Workforce Solutions.
Yes, I am Carrie Young. My title is Community Outreach and Recruiting Specialist for St. Mary Parish. So basically my responsibility is to find participants, anyone starting at the age of 16 to 24 for our summer work experience program, and then any other adults that are over the age of 18 that may be dislocated worker or just an adult looking to get into bettering their education or looking for a job. So my job is to go out into the community, make community connections, and get them into our center and help people find jobs and gainful employment.
And I think that's wonderful. It's not just about finding any old job. These are actually, really enhancing your life skills. Also,
Yes.
You guys are also enhancing their resume writing skills, interview skills. You're helping them actually create a bank account. We'll get to that in a little bit. So this is not just a get hired on and just get any old job. This is actually real jobs in our community. Yes. And there's an incentive for the employers as well. Some folks may say, well, I cannot hire anyone at this moment. But you just never know what's out there and how your employees can get paid, because there's federal dollars that will help that. But let's talk about, the 16 to 24-year-olds. And there are some certain criteria that they must meet in order to get hired on.
Yes. So this Thursday at SLCC Young Memorial campus, we will be having a recruiting event for youth age 16 to 24. Where we will be taking pre-applications and just giving them a little bit of information about what jobs we have out there in the community, and just kind of seeing where they want to be. But we're doing a very big summer work experience program is what we call it, because it is summertime. So we don't really want our kids sitting around playing PlayStation all summer. So let's get them some work skills and some resume writing, some interviewing skills, different things that can bring them into the next phase. We're focusing on a lot of in-school youth, which means kids that are still in high school, kids that may be at a trade school or even in college. But we also have a program where we can help children that are out of school, the in-betweeners that are kind of, not really quite sure what they want to do, and we can help them decide, do they want to go to school? Do they need the on-the-job training? Just different things that we can help them with.
And let me tell you, not just the students could benefit from this. I mean, a lot of times our public officials are saying, we want our kids to stay home. We want them to stay here. This is a perfect opportunity to get them hired on at jobs that are right here in our very own community. At one time, I remember there was something called Manpower. And during the summertime, a lot of the students would get on board and get those jobs through Manpower. Is this kind of similar to Manpower?
To some extent it is, but we are funded through a federal grant called WIOA, which is Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So with this grant, we are able to, we have a business service team, dedicated business service team that goes out into the community and talks to the different businesses of how we can help them. So it's kind of a win-win for the business and a win-win for these teenagers, that they can, if they partner with us, we have a place to put the kids for their work experience. So the business team will go out and partner with different businesses. We have several throughout the community in St. Mary Parish that we're already working with. We already have several students that are placed, but we're just really trying to push the summer work experience program at this point.
And I'm going to say this, I'll use our company here, KWBJ. Now, right now, we don't have any openings, but let's say, we could really use someone to come in and actually serve as our floor director or serve in the capacity of doing some type of paperwork or camera work, anything. If the company says, well, right now I don't have the finances to do it, what your job is to say, well, look, we have the finances and we can actually pay them through this federal funding. So
Yes.
there's a win-win. You, as the employee, you get an actual employee who's going to do some work that you need done at your location, but also the student or the individual will also be paid through this funding opportunity. But we're
Right.
going to take a short break. We'll come back and talk more about the actual event
Okay.
when we get back from break. So come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast with yours truly, Nico Foley. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Nico Foley. With me, we have Carrie Young, who is with Acadiana Workforce Solutions. And we're talking about this new program, this Summer Youth Enrichment, what am I saying? Here it is, Summer Youth Enrollment Event. It's all these words here. But it's coming up tomorrow, April 29th, 2:30 to 6 o'clock. Now, granted, this is a great time to actually get paid work experience and on-the-job training. However, you guys are doing this pretty much, this is ongoing. But in order to get yourself in the door, you need to show up tomorrow, 2:30 to 6 o'clock at SLCC, which is the Young Memorial site in Morgan City. What I like about this, we kind of talked about it a little bit, real life work experience.
Yes.
Not only that, some of these 16-year-olds, and I get it, they've never been on the job. They don't
Right.
even know what a resume looks like.
They don't have a clue.
Let alone talk about, can you write me a resume?
Right.
Tell me about yourself. Not only that, you guys offer interview skills.
We
So
do.
there's gonna be a career coach that will kind of guide them.
Yes.
Tell me more about that, because I think that in itself is just important because it's about life. And some of these kids don't know anything about life. They think they do, but they don't.
Well, I'll give you an example. Today, we were at West St. Mary High School, and we had several kids that have come into the library with our program, and we were testing them to see if they're eligible, and we also have them do what we call a life skill assessment. So it basically just asks you, what are you interested in? Because a lot of kids, did you know what you wanted to do at 16? I had no clue, or 17, or even 18. So it'll kind of give them a guide to in which direction do they want to go. So it's really helpful when we're trying to help them decide, where would you like to go to work? Maybe we can look into helping you do that, or what type of training are you looking at? So these little skills test will help them decide that.
Things have changed so much since I've been at
It's
school.
true.
Maybe I'm telling my age, but seriously, it has changed so much. You mentioned about when you were 16, 17 years old, you didn't know what you were going to school for. For myself, my parents just told me, you're going to college. That's it. It's like, okay, and what am I doing? But now there are so many choices, so many options for these kids to take part in. You don't have to go to college
Right.
in order to have a lucrative career and also
That's
be
right.
very happy and satisfied in your life. So offering this other option of going right to work, it's not a bad option. However, you also offer skills where they actually, not just the interview skills, they're able to also take in some vocational classes.
Yes. So with the WIOA grant, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act grant, we have 3 funding sources that we fund all year long. So it's not just Summer WEX or Summer Work Experience program. This program goes on all year. So we're also looking for dislocated workers who have been laid off for no fault of their own. If they're looking to do a training, I know a lot of people are receiving benefits right now, and while they're doing that, while they're looking for a job, we can offer them funding to get another type of training, say a CDL if you look into that, HVAC, just different welding, electrician, different trades where you can have more gainable skills,
Right. But definitely want to keep in mind this summer program because you mentioned it perfectly. You'll have students, once they're out of school, they want to stay home, they want to play video games or just not really have a very active summer. This way, they'll be able to have gainful employment, but also at a place. So I know eventually I did decide, I was like, well, I think I'd want to be a news reporter. But I didn't get that experience until I was in college.
Right.
When I made up my mind at 17, or 18, I could have got a job at a news station, and that would have at least given me more of an idea of what it was like to work at a news station. I could have said, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Or I could have said,
Exactly.
yes, this is exactly what I want to do.
Yes.
So the jobs that you guys, the businesses that you partner up with, you have just about all types of businesses that you
Yes,
partner up
anything
with.
from clerical to maintenance to housekeeping, anything. You know, we can, if the business is
Yes.
willing to partner with
Yes.
us, you know, it's a limitless what we could offer them.
Yes.
You know, it just has to be that we've partnered with the business.
Okay, well, sounds good. Well, we're going to come back and definitely talk more about the dislocated workers. So come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I am your host, Nico Foley. With me, we have Carrie Young, who is the Community Outreach and Recruiting Specialist. I think I got that right.
You did.
Oh, girl, you got such a long title. Just give me like an acronym. But she is working with Acadiana Workforce Solutions, doing a fabulous job. And one thing I want to talk about now is you guys have 3 funding sources where you're able to help individuals in the community get a job. Right now, we're still in the midst of this pandemic.
Yes.
Folks are either losing their jobs, they're already accepting unemployment benefits. So it's very difficult for a lot of families. But here you are, you come in and you jump right into business to help folks, connect them with jobs.
Yes, so I'm glad you said that. So yes, we want to help the entire family. So if there's, you know, a youth that's looking to go to school or get a summer job, we want to do that. But we're also helping any adult that has a barrier to employment or training,
Yes.
education.
And I love that because, so let's just be honest. If you already have unemployment benefits, but you're saying, well, this is going to run out eventually. I need to find something to do after that. How do you step in after that?
Well, actually, we would like to step in before that. Okay. So what we could do is offer them funding for more training, like I said, you know, earlier. If it's tough to find a job right now, but if you have a gainable skill, then that makes it easier for you to get a job once everything gets up and running again.
Let's talk about those skills. What are some of the skills that are out there? We know that you're on the campus of SLCC and at Young Memorial. So you pretty much welding?
Yes, so welding, electrician, plumbing, CDL license, HVAC. If you go on to louisianaworks.net, we have what we call an eligible training provider list. That gives a list of all the different training providers that we offer throughout the state of Louisiana. Mm-hmm. So if someone wants to go to nursing school, we can offer funding for that. If someone wants to go, like I said, get their CDL, we partner with SLCC and other companies to help people gain those skills.
Wow. See, these are things that folks don't know about, but I'm happy to have
Right.
you here in order to
because
educate
we fund it. So I think that's where, you know, that's what people need to know. You may
Yes.
not realize, you know, if you're home collecting unemployment and searching for a job daily, let's help you get those skills. So maybe you can get another job. You know, oil field may not be.
I mean, money's tight, period,
I
right?
mean,
Money
right.
is tight. So,
Absolutely.
you know, what do you do? Do I put food on the table or do I go back to school?
Right.
Well, you can do both.
You can do
with
both.
this. And
That's
that's what
exactly
I love
right.
about it so far is that, you know, I'm collecting unemployment, but I can also go back to school through the
Exactly.
funding opportunities that you
That we
guys have.
offer.
That's
Yes.
right. So at this stage, you know, dislocated workers, we also talked about the summer program, which is geared to 16 to 24-year-olds. But tell me about the age limit for the dislocated workers.
Okay, there is no age limit for that. The 3 funding sources, let me start with that we provide funding for are our youth in school and out of school. In school would be anyone that is in high school, in a trade school, or college currently enrolled. An out of school youth would be anyone that's like the in-between. You know, they've graduated from high school, or they haven't received their high school diploma and need to get their high set. We can help with that. We give a $300 bonus for a certain age group between age 16 to 24 if they're looking to get their high set. And then anyone that's an adult, would be considered anyone over the age of 18. Now, sometimes they can fall into one or the
Yes,
other category,
right.
depending on what their situation is. And then dislocated worker, it's anyone that has had a job. Well, they would have to be 18 as well. So anyone that's been employed that has, lost their job at no fault of their own
Right.
would be considered a dislocated worker.
Okay. So really, at some point, just about anybody,
Just about anybody, yeah.
could benefit from this.
And we can certainly try,
Yeah.
we would love to just talk to you and see where you are.
Okay. And just for those who are wondering, okay, how do I how do I take advantage of this? Well, they're on 2 locations within St. Mary Parish. They are at SLCC at Young Memorial right here in Morgan City, and also at the Franklin campus. So there's no excuse. There are at least 2 locations. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about other programs and what it is that you do, how to connect the folks, how to connect the dots. We've got it coming up right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Nico Foley. With me, we have Carrie Young, who is the Community Outreach and Recruiting Specialist with Acadiana Workforce Solutions. Now, you are working with all types of folks. There's just about anybody can benefit from the programs that you offer through Acadiana Workforce Solutions. Particularly, you have 16 to 24-year-olds, those who are in school, out of school, have not made up their minds just yet as to what their life is going to be in the future. And then, of course, you have dislocated workers who are about 18 years old, who have actually, and up, that have been dislocated from their jobs of no fault of their own.
Yes.
And you're able to connect those participants with businesses. Of course, there are several departments, I'm sure. You have your business department, and then you have someone like yourself. You connect the people with the businesses, right?
Right, yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the businesses that you work with.
Okay.
Because they're all in St. Mary Parish, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Well, we do cover 8 parishes, but yes, right, for me, it's just St. Mary Parish. I represent St. Mary Parish. But we do have a dedicated business service team, like I said earlier, that goes out into the community to partner with the businesses. And then it's my job to find the participants. Now, do keep in mind, they do have to fit the criteria and become, and be eligible in order to receive benefits from the grant. But yes, so the business service team will go out, partner with the different businesses, and then I need to connect with the participants, which has been a little bit difficult with, our current situation with COVID and everything else. So anybody that wants to reach out to me, if you're a church, anyone, a business, if you're interested in partnering with us, please reach out to us.
Give us your email address.
Okay, so my email is Carrie, Carrie, .young, YOUNG, at AcadianaWorkforceSolutions.com.
Right, and if you would like maybe more of a face-to-face interaction, they're actually located at 2 locations. One is at SLCC Young Memorial, the campus right in Morgan City, and again on 600 Main Street in Franklin. So
that's correct.
Either area of the parish, go in and someone will be able to help connect these individuals with businesses. Of course, what is the process like?
Well, okay, so the process is we have them fill out a pre-application, and then we have our intake specialist that calls the individual in. They come in with certain documents. Of course, you have to have your driver's license and your birth certificate, social security card, those types of things. And then they put them through our system and to see if they're eligible for the WIOA grant. And then from there, if they are eligible and we can enroll them and they're qualified, they go over to a career coach, where the career coach will guide them through the rest of the process, which is either if you're looking to go to training school or education, or if you're looking for a job, we partner with businesses to do on-the-job training. So that's another area that we, like to send the adults more in that direction.
Right. Now, how long will this be going on? Is there a deadline? Is there a cap?
No. So do you mean as far as the
participants and how long this will go on?
Okay, so each person is awarded a certain amount of funding. And once that funding is...
They reach that
yes, yes, until they reach the end of the funding. So different classes are different amounts of money.
Right.
Cost different things. So it really just depends on what that person is eligible for as far as funding. And that's all determined once we get them into our system and our intake person runs them through the application process.
Well, definitely, I want folks to contact you one more time. Give us your email address, because I know folks are like, how do I get in touch with this lady, because I need help.
Yes, so my email is carrie.young@acadianaworkforcesolutions.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for
thank
being
you.
here. This was great. Hopefully it won't be your last time
No.
joining me here on The Voice of the Coast. And again, if you have not already, make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook. We are KWBJ TV 22. We're also located on Facebook. We are KWBJ Live. Again, I'm your host, Nico Foley. We'll see you guys next time.